Hi, I'm Shane, and this is Tom, Drum Center of Portsmouth, Bella. We just wanted to do a quick recap of how we felt about the NAMM show and give you our take on what we thought of
all the new gear,
all the stuff.
Yeah, and all the news.
I'd say Ludwig was the winner for a drum company.
Yeah, I would agree.
This year, the Legacy Mahogany. The vintage is definitely in, from what we can see. And you know, who does it better than them, right? Because that's what they've done it for so long.
Yeah.
And the Copper Superphonic, everybody seems to be into that, interested. They're doing the couple of the Salesman wrap finished. We have a couple of those kits, and stainless steel reissues.
Stainless steels are going to be really cool. Yeah.
So,
sure.
Satin finishes now on classic maple.
They look awesome.
I think they really just hit it out of the park because it seemed like a quiet year to me. Well, you know, I was thinking about that. Everybody said, well, how was it this year? And I said, well, it seemed kind of quiet, but now that I'm thinking about it, there was a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there was. I feel the same way.
So, yeah, I think that they probably had the most going on. Pearl would be right behind it just with that wood fiberglass kit. That was, they're reissuing, well, not reissuing, but old Pearls were notorious. They had the fiberglass and wood combo shell. That was a great sounding drum. And now they've just done it again. And that, you know, on the heels of the Crystal Beat launch last summer, they had a lot of juice going for them.
Yeah, everything we played from Pearl sounded really good. Really good.
Chad Smith's snare looks nice. I'm not sure how well it's going to do because it's expensive, but looks nice.
It's interesting for sure. 3-piece brass shell that you can actually move the pieces around on, I believe.
Yeah. We ordered one. We'll try it.
Yeah.
Maybe it does okay. Maybe it won't. Tama had a strong...
yeah, they rolled out the Star Walnuts.
That was, you know, that's funny because Peter Erskine is now with Tama, if you didn't know. Which at first kind of made me go, really? You know, because Peter is one of those guys where I've always just identified him with Yamaha and that sound. Same with Vinny. You know, when Vinny left Yamaha, I was like, really? Even though he sounded great on Gretch and Ludwig, it just didn't sound like Vinny to me because it was, to me, and it was kind of the same with Peter. I remember doing a clinic with him and he was on DWs and I was like, this just doesn't sound like you. And then I saw that little quick blip of him on the Star kit, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's that's awesome." And I think those Star drums sound absolutely incredible.
They do.
I mean, amongst the best sounding drums I've ever heard. They're expensive, but I mean, we're talking about, you know, top echelon drums. So. Yeah. And the Star Walnut is interesting because it doesn't. Part of the real expense with the Stars is the reinforcement hoop with the inlays on it, and really brings the price up. So the Star Walnut doesn't have reinforcement hoops, so
it doesn't have inlay work either, which is
lower $3,000 range, I think, for a shell pack. So it's going to be, you know, that top echelon. You know, doesn't want the top echelon pricing. So we ordered one of those. So we're excited about that, and then. The Star hardware, which came out this summer, I mean, that boom stand, I don't think I've seen a boom stand as good as this thing. So Tama is just, I hate to say back because it didn't really go anywhere, but when it comes to innovation and quality, I just feel like they are really kicking serious ass right now. And I think the other notable thing, too, with them, other than the Silver Star Mirage, you know, because the acrylic thing is so big, which is they're doing an acrylic kit. The other big thing is the Speed Cobra pedal that's now at $199. It just seems like now the $200 price point for bass drum pedals is hot and awesome. Pearl has the Demonator pedal. My favorite is the Mapex Armory. I think it's the 800 P800 twin. And now the Speed Cobra, which I'm looking forward to trying out. I didn't even try it, but you know, looks great. So
Yeah, it felt really good. I play a Speed Cobra, the original Speed Cobra, and that one at the show that I put my foot on, that newer, less expensive model felt pretty much on par with it. So it's really cool.
Good year for Tama.
Yeah.
Mapex didn't really do much in the way of drums. They just came out with three new Black Panther models. Chris Adler, which was probably one of the most requested discontinued drums. We get calls on that all the time. Can you get the original Chris Adler snare? No, we can't. So it's about time that they did that. The Matt Halpern drum, which they're sort of trying to say, hey, this isn't a heavy metal drum. It'll work for anything, and it does. But the Russ Miller drum is the one I'm most excited about.
Yeah, that one really stands out.
Anything Russ comes up with, I mean, you could tell he's a working musician. He's a professional drummer. He plays in studios and stages, and so he knows what, he just creates things that he needs if it doesn't exist already. And I know everything he's come up with it's very painstaking, and this snare drum seems very thought out, and it sounds great. He did a little demo for us, and he was just spot on with the sensitivity of it, and I'm really looking forward to spending some time with that drum. But the big news for them is the electronic drum.
Yes, infused.
Right. Some people were calling it confused because they didn't really understand it, and I guess I didn't really at first, but it's what I've been calling for the past 5 years, which is I kind of feel that the drum module things are they're going to be going away eventually, and your module is going to be an interface for samples, because drum modules have 64 or 100 megabytes of storage or something like that. I mean, that's like the phone I had 5 years ago had more storage than that. So now, understandably, the samples files, aren't very large, so that storage is adequate. But now, this infused is a module where you load in VFD, which is included with the purchase, so you can connect your laptop or a USB stick, and so you have these huge samples, so you can get that sound. And I really feel like this is the first year where I feel Yamaha and Roland have competition. And it's not just with the infused. I think that the Cat has like a $1,600 drum set now that I tried out. And I was like, wow, this sounds good, and it felt good, and I was like, okay, now we have, because all this time I've been like, I don't like the Pearl one or the Alesis or any of those. The other ones I didn't really care for. I liked Yamaha. Yamaha uses actual drum samples, which I like. Roland uses the synthesized samples, which they sound like fake drums. They sound like candy drums, which a lot of people like, but it's not an organic sound. So, I mean, I really feel like this thing is going to kill. Why would you spend $7,000 on a Roland when you could get this, where the sounds are just huge? So I think the electronic drum market is going to take a sharp turn, and it's because of this. This is going to be the kit that just starts everything. How it's received in the marketplace, that remains to be seen. But I'm pretty optimistic, and we jumped on board with it. I think they're shipping in May. It'd be cool.
That sounds right.
What else do we?
Sonar Vintage.
Best in show. Sonar does something that's best in show. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think that the Sonar's history goes over 140 years. So they're the oldest drum company out there. I visited a factory in Germany last year, and it was just an incredible visit. The amount of work that they do at that facility is just staggering. So this vintage series it's a lot like the old drums that they were making in the 50s and 60s, the teardrops they were called. So they have the beat shells and the hoop that's contoured like the way they were originally. And they got a lot of that the hardware just spot on to the way it was. And there's been some minor changes, and there's tune safe, to help them stay in tune. So, in true Sonar form, they're, vintage-esque drums with modern appointments and features. So they're not just trying to say, hey, this is a price point for us and sell them. They're putting their pedigree on it. And, I think that people might think they're going to sell 1 million of them, and they won't, but they're, Sonar, there's a small group of people, of which I'm one, of absolutely fanatical for their equipment and sound. So I think they did a great job. And one thing, you played the Bop kit, and he was playing that. They had a very Gretsch-like
they did,
quality to me. And Gretsch to me is that's the jazz sound that nobody has been able to replicate. You either love it or you hate it. It's, it is what it is. But they had a real Gretsch character. But because it has 6 lugs on the 12-inch tom, you could tune it down a little bit lower, which is more my speed. We ordered some. I'm looking forward to spending time with those drums because I think they really killed it. And the one-of-a-kind snare drums are awesome. They're absolutely gorgeous. Macassar ebony, and I can't remember the name of the wood of the other one, but it was gorgeous. So, and a one-of-a-kind drum set, which Sonar especially in the '80s when they had the signature drums, they were doing things that no other manufacturer was doing, like the super exotic veneers. And that Signature Series kit cost $1 million at the time, but nobody was doing it. And so it really positioned themselves as that elite manufacturer. But the rest of the drum world caught up and started making exotic finished drums. And so now you see it on several different price points, and it didn't really set them apart. But I think they did it with this one-of-a-kind drum set. With the wood is so unique, and the inlaid badge and the inside of the shells. And we're at the top tier here. It's just awesome. So yeah, really good year for Sonar. That was exciting. Yamaha didn't really have a lot because they're still getting the new facility up and running. Well, I mean it's running, but they're just getting that. They've had 2 huge launches in the past couple of years with the Live Custom and the Absolute Hybrids. So there really wasn't anything to offer other than some component. They're doing the Stage Custom kit, which, in that price point, the Stage Custom is awesome. Yeah. But it's kind of with electronics, so they're doing the Stage Custom with a module and a pad or 2. So it's kind of a cool experiment. I'm looking forward to seeing how it works. We're going to try that because, in my current gig, I'm using the multi-12 sampling pad off to the side. So, a lot of people need electronics. And so this might be a cool little angle for them. Who else do we see? We saw Sakai, who the Sakai company. They manufactured all the Yamaha drums prior to 2013. All the high-end Absolutes, Recording Customs, not the Phoenix. So that factory goes back 100 years of, as you and I know, the top quality drum manufacturing. So we jumped on with Sakai last year, and we're just really killing it. People are, the Almighties, people are buying, like, in the trilogies are so really, really popular. So they had a huge year with this new finish on the Almighty Maple.
Best looking kit of the show.
I think so. Yeah. The turquoise
sparkle, yeah.
We walked in the booth and said, I want that kit.
Yeah.
It's in the kit. And then, so I think we pretty much took the whole booth, if I'm not mistaken, because they had Cypress stave snares. So for the guys out there and gals, that if you like quality, the Yamaha quality, that's, some people just don't notice it.
Right.
And if you don't, that's fine. But to the working drummers that understand that pedigree of what that factory puts out, then this is a big year for them. Gretsch didn't really have a heck of a lot. They had some snare drums that had some hand-painted art on them, which I didn't like. I mean, gotta hand it to them, it was creative, but we didn't order any of those. Walnut Renown, which is really cool.
And birch too, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love walnut shells, so I'm really encouraged by this one. I'm looking forward to seeing that. What else? Canopus. Canopus didn't really have any. They had a couple of new snare drums, which we ordered. There was a Crate Ash kit at the booth that's coming in. I liked that a lot. They showed some prototype brass snares. We love Canopus stuff, so I don't know. I kind of feel like I don't know what's the word. I believe whatever it is they do. So they've never really come out with a product. Oh, they had that 12 lug on top, 6 lug on bottom. Right.
That
and
neo-vintage, yeah.
And I remember they sent a PDF on this, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. This is ridiculous. And I said, well, they did that with the phenol fiber. They have this snare drum called the phenol fiber snare drum, which it's a fiberglass with a phenolic plastic-esque wrap on the outside, which is not unlike that Pearl President shell, I think, in the 70s. And I remember when they launched that drum, I said, are you kidding me? And they told us at the show that we sell more of those snare drums than anybody in the world because we love them. And we have sold so many of those drums. They sound amazing, and they're in the 500 mid-fives, I think, price point.
Yeah, anytime a customer comes in to try out a new snare drum, we put that up. They A/B that with most other drums in the store, and that wins. Yeah.
So, I after that, I said, okay, I'll suspend my disbelief, but then they sent this thing over with the 12 lugs on top, 6 lugs on bottom, and I just said, you've got to be kidding me. And then I said, well, you know what? I bet you it works, and it did. Yep. Sounded awesome.
Amazing.
So, there we have it. The Danette booth. I think Danette owns NAMM. Honestly, for us, for that small sector of the market, that's that high-end boutique buyer. Well, that's where we live. That's what we do a lot of that. So that's always the most exciting for us. And every year, he wasn't even there this year. He had an injury, so he had some great people taking care of the booth for him. And get well soon, Ron. He is manufacturing. He had a little injury and couldn't get on the plane. So rest assured, he's still making drums.
Oh yeah.
But we took the majority of that booth, and I'm really excited to get that stuff. And Joyful Noise was right next to him, and if you like that vintage Ludwig shell, I don't think anybody does it better than Kurt. Those are the John Aldridge engraved beacons. So we named the Beacon series a number of years ago, which is their bronze drums, which we love. And so John Aldridge did the engraved headlight beacon on the drum. So those are coming in. I can't wait to see that in person.
They look great.
Yeah. And then what else do we care?
Talk to Cooper Akutin.
Yeah, those are our favorite sounding drums. At NAMM, always. It's if you don't have what I love about the Akutins is the price point. It's $7.99, so it's not out of the stratosphere.
Right.
The working drummer can, put it as a goal. It's a good price point, and it sounds as good as anything I've ever heard. So, I think that our favorite drums, sounding snares currently are those. Akutins. So.
I'd agree.
Brady is another transition year for them. They were at NAMM last minute, so they had some cool stuff to talk about. We ordered some cool drums, but the lead times are a little strange right now. So if you want to order Brady, it's probably best to get it on order. Because
sooner rather than later.
I think 4 months or something like that's going to be what we're looking at. And what else do we?
Good cymbal stuff too.
Yeah, I want to get to the cymbal stuff, but was there any other things that we were talked about? Pearl and Ludwig and Tama, Yamaha. I know there's going to be one we leave out and have left out.
Yeah.
But okay.
Oh, we checked out some Taye snares.
That's right. That seems to be their niche, and our niche with Taye is snares. They have those cool, 3 new snares, and they sounded great. And we said, okay, send them.
Yeah.
Which I think is what we've done the past couple of years.
Yeah.
So there was like a maple walnut, maple mahogany, and Todd did that demonstration.
Walnut with wood hoops too.
That drum was really nice.
That was killer.
But the maple, the maple walnut was much more crack and bright, and the mahogany was definitely more on the dark side. Really nice stuff. They sounded good, but my experience with the Taye drums are the minute I play one, I say, I need to switch the heads out right now. I just don't like the sound of their heads. I don't like the sound of their wires. And when I put a set of Remos on there and some Canopus wires, it's just like a whole new drum.
It is.
But some people like them, so it works for them. But that's just been my experience with it. All right, well, on to cymbals. Let me see if there's Sabian. I think it was their year.
Yep. Big and uglies. Lots of big, dark, dry, kind of jazzy cymbals. Some more versatile than others, but all really cool. 22s and 24s only in that line. They had Mark Giuliana come and play a couple for him, and he did a great little demo for him. And yeah, there's some cool models in that line.
We don't sell many 20-inch rides anymore.
Yeah.
I don't even get ever 20-inch rides or 60-inch crashes.
Yeah, they were smart to go big.
Yeah.
Because that's what people are into, it seems.
Well, when we went to the factory in November, we bought a ton of prototypes. A lot of them were of the Big and Uglies, which we actually still have some on our site if you search for Sabian prototype. But we tried them out then, and they're like, oh, by the way, you can't say anything. Like, because they sounded so awesome.
Yeah.
And the one thing about Sabian is that they have the capacity to make the greatest cymbals in the world at that facility. And what I love about them is that they will try anything, even if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And so it's a really great attitude that Mark has when it comes to manufacturing cymbals. And so when we tried these out, we were like, oh my God, these are really great. So every year it belongs to cymbals. It belongs to one manufacturer, it seems. Last year was Zildjian all the way with the Karope launch. It was huge. But this is definitely Sabian's year. Everybody loved the Big and Uglies. And yeah, that was really, really cool. And Paiste, they were really the surprise for me with these PSTX cymbals. So it's like the Swiss crash, so it's with the holes. And but they were saying they were having a hard time making them consistent, which is hilarious because the Paiste tolerance for consistency is so fine that I'm sure they were discarding cymbals that sounded incredible, but it wasn't up to their pedigree, so they said, we can't do it. And so they did it in this PST line. They sound incredible for effect cymbals, and they're not expensive.
The pricing is very cheap.
Yeah, like really cheap. And I want them on my kit, even though I have no use. I just feel like my kit's going to eventually be like that one guy, that guy's picture with like 100 cymbals in his kit. I feel like I could have that with those things.
Everybody's making such cool stuff now. It's hard not to want all of it.
We're in the glory days, cymbals. As far as I don't think. Everyone's like, what's your favorite cymbal company? Like, oh, really? I mean, everybody makes such great stuff. So they had a Dave Lombardo ride, which is, I think that's going to do really well for them.
22-inch Rude.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the sound. I mean, it's his sound. And Stuart Copeland 12-inch hats that they sounded cool. Like Stuart uses them as his main. I would definitely use them as a remote hat type thing, but there's people out there that I think
for that style.
Yeah.
For that sound.
Zildjian Stacker Effects. That was that's I think going to be big for them. Really cool sound, and you can put them on any existing cymbal. It doesn't matter, and it's going to sound cool. Karope mediums, which we have some of the prototypes of those.
Yep.
I think that was kind of needed. The Karope line has been real popular, so that was another good showing for them. Meinl wasn't at NAMM this year, and their reasoning was they didn't want to. It wasn't, I think, a good use of their marketing money because it costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to show at NAMM, and so a lot of people find a way to get a badge and get it for free, and they come in and just beat on things like it's their job, and there's people hitting cymbals, and really that's not what NAMM is for. NAMM is National Association of Music Merchants. It's people there. We're there to do business and see the new product and decide how we're going to strategize for the year. And it's hard to do when there's somebody, just wailing on things. And so they said, we're going to focus on the dealers that really do well for us and try to grow our business that way. I think it was a really,
It's a bold move.
Bold. And that's what I like about Meinl is that they are not afraid to do that. And I respect them for that because, and I think they're right in ways where it makes a lot of sense, and I think it's a real statement to NAMM, about how how they feel. And you know, we all want to do business here, and so I think it was a good move. But the one thing, the negative thing I think is that if you're not a NAMM, you don't have that juice. Nobody was talking about mine.
Right.
So
They do have some new products, but
great new products, but it
we
wasn't
didn't
there.
get to check them out
and-
firsthand.
Right.
At least not there.
Yeah, and we can because we'll order it in, but the other dealers aren't, and so
Right.
you know, it's when you walk into a drum store and ask the guy, you know, what's new or something. That's probably the last thing that will come to their mind.
Right.
We'll see if it works or not. Maybe they'll be back there next year. Yeah. So Istanbul Mehmet launched the Tony Williams cymbal set.
They sound incredible.
Yeah, I don't care for signature products per se. You know, these things could have been the Tom Ash cymbal set, and I would have still loved it. It doesn't matter. But I mean, they really just replicated Tony's original cymbals at the factory in Turkey, and they sound incredible. So 250 sets, and I think ours, we got a few sets, and I think we've sold a couple already. It's really, I think it's going to be bigger than I thought. So, yeah, good for them. AGOP had a couple of new models that I think we're trying out.
Yep.
So, what about accessories? Did we see anything else that...
Sonar had some pretty cool little percussion accessories.
Oh, the Cajon add-ons were... And they sounded incredible.
They did.
I just don't know what the pricing is going to be because they make all of that in the factory in Germany. It's a real wood shop.
Right.
It's a true wood shop. They make the congas there. They make the cajons there. So these little things that go off to the side of your cajon, they sound incredible.
Yeah.
So I was really excited about those. There was this new beater, a bass drum beater that it was interchangeable, so you could pull the top off and then put another one on. Like if you wanted a hard beater, you could do it in the middle of the song. You could switch it to a soft beater. Not sure if it's on the market exactly yet, but
Yeah, it looks like kind of still an upstart thing, but
really, really promising.
yeah, interesting idea for sure.
Oh, angel drums. We're picking up the angel drums because I tried some of their prototypes 3 or 4 years ago, and I really liked them, and I gave them some feedback, and really worked with them to sort of get there. But we haven't jumped on yet because I felt that they were sort of finding their way, and they were emailing me prior to the show like, you really need to come by to the booth and check these out, and I really felt like, yeah, you nailed it. You did a good job. So we're gonna get those on, try them out. I think again, there's some great $7.99 price point, which I think is that new Magic price point for
Yeah, seems like it.
for that high end snare. And then Aod snares, yeah, basically it was nice to catch up with them and see the drums. I think we're gonna try those out because it just there's a bit of a legacy there, and
Sure.
If there's anything we do, it's high end drums. So that's where we're at. Dixon had that's it. They had a cocktail kit that I thought was probably the coolest kit at the show.
Yeah.
It was basically taking the whole premise of what the Tama did with theirs, but you can sit with it or stand up with it. And it came with cases. I thought it was really well thought out, and I think it's going to be really cool. The Vector pedal was another one that I really liked. I want to get those in the shop. Yeah. And I know we're leaving stuff out, but man, there's so much stuff to talk about. But yeah, we had a good time. I don't think there was anything really mind blowing, but it was definitely a good year for product.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all starting to deliver land too. It's just FedEx and UPS bombs are dropping constantly, so we have a lot of stuff coming in, and it's a little overwhelming. But we got a great deal on some Tama boom stands, and we got some really high-end snare drums about to land and kits.
A lot of good Mapex stuff coming in too.
B-stock, demo model kits. I think we got a good deal on some stuff that we'll be passing along. So, yeah, that's what I love about NAMM is finding those cool you know, cool specials and deals, and that's sort of what we do. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good year for us. We've got a lot of stuff that we need to sell. So go to drumcenternh.com. We do financing now, so the application you can fill right out on the website. Just click on the financing tab, and if you want to buy that Tama Star kit or the Sonar One of a Kind, you can apply there. But anyway, pretty long-winded. I hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of 2015 and be safe, be good to each other. And Bella says thank you. Right, Bella?
Thanks, everybody.